Life Audio.
Welcome to the Crosswalk Devotional. We're glad to have you listening with us. Today's topic is gratitude. We'll return with the devotion after a brief message from one of our sponsors.
This July 4th, from Angel Studios, the force behind His Only Son and The Chosen, comes an extraordinary true story of courage and redemption. Starring Jim Caviezel, the actor renowned for his unforgettable portrayal of Jesus in The Passion, and Academy Award winner Mira Sorvino. Inspired by remarkable acts of bravery, Sound of Freedom unveils the breathtaking true events of a dangerous mission to save young innocent lives. Sound of Freedom. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. Go to angel.com/freedom for tickets. Only in theaters July 4th.
Hey everybody, I'm Dale.
And I'm Tamara.
And we're hosts of the Kainos Project podcast,
where we help you tackle ancient Christian truths in everyday settings.
The word Kainos means new, and that's exactly what we want to do on our podcast. Bring something new from what is old in our faith.
And on this show, you might hear us explore topics like what the Bible has to say about student loan forgiveness, discuss how the Satanic Temple affects our view of religious liberty in America, or even question why is it that so many people are having rapture anxiety.
To learn more about the podcast, go to lifeaudio.com.
How Gratitude Brings Hope to Our Heart. Written and read by Jessica Van Roekel. Oh, come, let us sing to the Lord. Let us make a joyful noise to the rock of our salvation. Let us come into his presence with thanksgiving. Let us make a joyful noise to him with songs of praise. Psalm 95, verses 1 and 2. It's cold, it's cloudy. Why does it have to be so windy? These complaints run like a swift-moving river in my mind. If I pay attention to what I think, I'm a little shocked at the negative thoughts running rampant in my brain. Then, if things don't go the way I think they should, my complaints ramp up to almost accusatory statements toward God and what I perceive to be his lack of care for me. Complaining is a common part of our human existence and can be contagious. It's one matter to share our dissatisfactions over some experience, and another matter entirely to stay in a chronic, complaining loop. One allows a space to process our unmet expectations, and the other is a trap designed to turn us into chronic complainers. The Bible shares the story of the complaining Israelites in Exodus 16, but the chapter before shows them rejoicing. God had just delivered them once and for all from the Egyptians through the parting of the Red Sea. They walked across on dry land, and the Egyptians drowned as the waters came down. Within a single chapter, though, the Israelites exchanged rejoicing for complaining. Imagine the high they felt as they marched out of Egypt, free at last, showered with gifts from their Egyptian neighbors. Then they walked on the miracle of dry land, flanked by walls of water. They celebrated as they hadn't celebrated in a long time. But then the reality of their freedom set in. Have you ever experienced an amazing victory only to discover that the reality of walking in that victory was much harder than you anticipated? Me too. God reveals himself to us and sets our feet on new paths. We say yes because it's what we've longed for and prayed for, and God is finally fulfilling his promise and answering a prayer. A dream has come true. But then reality sets in. This reality brings uncertainty. We're walking where we haven't walked before, and we don't recognize the landscape. There are new critters to avoid. The sun scorches us and the clouds bring gloom. Our answered prayers don't look like what we imagined. Questions begin to fill our mind. Did we hear from God right? Was I mistaken? Is he still leading me, or am I out here on my own? We can begin to complain if our victory doesn't look like the way we thought it would. It's hard, it's lonely. The old ways look better than the new ways. Complaints flow through our mind and steal our hope. We're not that much different from the Israelites. They looked back because the way forward led through the desert. Their homes were tents, and their food source was from God himself. Yet he provided for them in the desert. He led them to their victory, but their greatest stumbling block was their tendency to complain. Complaining wars with hope, and Psalm 95 offers the counterattack. Yes, we can praise God through the outward expression of singing songs and speaking about his mighty strength. But this psalm is challenging us to make sure that our praise and worship comes from pure hearts. We can learn from the Israelites' rebellion of complaining and choose to receive what God promised. He promised us himself. He gives us his presence, joy, and peace. Intersecting faith and life. The Israelites lost their way because they forgot to keep expressing their thanksgiving through rejoicing. They struggled with short-term amnesia when it came to God's faithfulness, love, and care about them. When we can make gratitude our first response, we keep hope alive because it turns our hearts from what we think we lack to what we have. And what we have is God's presence, love, mercy, grace, peace, and joy. We can turn our complaining into gratitude, and gratitude leads us to hope.
The Crosswalk Devotional is a production of Life Audio and Salem Media. If you liked what you heard today, please take a second to rate and review this podcast in your favorite podcast app so that more listeners like you can find the show. For more faith-filled, inspirational podcasts, visit us at lifeaudio.com.
This July 4th, from Angel Studios, the force behind His only Son and the Chosen, comes an extraordinary true story of courage and redemption. Starring Jim Caviezel, the actor renowned for his unforgettable portrayal of Jesus in The Passion, and Academy Award winner Mira Sorvino. Inspired by remarkable acts of bravery, Sound of Freedom unveils the breathtaking true events of a dangerous mission to save young innocent lives. Sound of Freedom. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. Go to angel.com/freedom for tickets. Only in theaters July 4th.